Hello beautiful people, welcome back to the channel, and on this video I'm going to teach you block pattern for complete beginners, and this is just the part one. Because we have a lot of projects coming on the channel, and we have a couple working on like the e-commerce app, the Uber app, and I'm going to use the block pattern for those projects. I thought it would be very important for me to explain to you guys what block pattern is. First of all, let's define why do we need it. The block pattern can provide us a very solid architecture to our apps, and more than that, the disadvantage of using the set state is that when we use a set state, the whole widget will have to be rebuilt, and most of the time we'll need to rebuild the complete widget tree. So we are in a disadvantage in terms of performance. But before we go into the block structure or the block pattern, I'll need to explain you guys some basic concepts about streams, stream controller, stream and sync, and subscriptions. Let's start with streams. Well, simple put, stream is just a flow of data, and most of the times people like to say imagine a stream has a pipe that has data coming in and data going out of it, and it can be any type of data, string, integer, float, anything. Now let's see a stream controller. You can imagine a stream controller as a tab, and what it does just controls the stream or the flow of data. Let's talk about sync. What sync does, sync inserts new data inside of our stream. So we'll use the sync property when we want to insert new data inside of the stream. But our streams have another property which is called stream. And what stream does is, obviously, if we insert data, we'll need to output that data from the stream, and we use the stream method or the stream property. After that, we will see subscriptions, and subscription is basically listening to a stream. We create objects that are going to listen to a particular stream to check if we have a new data coming in or going out of the stream. And we can have two types of subscription: a single subscription when only one object is listening to a stream, or a stream can be listened from many different objects, what is called a broadcast. Okay, enough with talking, let's get into the IDE and start coding. So guys, here we have this basic structure of the Flutter app, and what I'm going to do on this first video is we are going to do some modifications into this, and we are going to increment the value of this using a string instead of using a set state. And for the next video, the part 2 of this, we can go ahead and implement the block pattern, because for you to understand the block pattern, you have to know how streams work first. So okay, now let's do our work here, and it's not going to be something super complex, and I'm trying to make this as simple as possible for you guys to understand. I will need you to import Dart async, because we're going to need this. And for now, most of the stuff here is not really needed. We can go ahead and get rid of it, but okay, for now I can just go get rid of the comments here, and here for the title I can just write block pattern, and inside of this stateful widget I will get rid of, okay, let's get rid of everything except what, except the, okay, I'll get rid of everything except nothing. Okay, perfect. Now of course we will need to oops we'll have this error here because we need to overwrite this method, the build method. Perfect. Now let's build this using streams with the same knowledge we gained from the slides before. And what are we going to do here is, first I'm going to of course use here counter, and for the first value of counter is going to be 0, and we're going to create a stream controller, because this is what we need to control our stream. And for the stream controller we have to give the type of data that we want to control, and on our case is int, and I'll just give here stream controller again, and it's going to be equal to stream controller. Then we're going to give the type, which is int, because we want to control an integer, and that's all. Every time you use a stream controller, you have to use a dispose method. And what does it mean is that if, for example, you're using, let's imagine a stream controller has a tab. When you don't want water to come out, you just close that tab. So the same thing with stream controller. We need, every time after we use, we need to dispose. We need to close that stream, in other words. So we will call first super dispose and stream controller. Then we'll need to close the stream. Every time we use a stream controller, we have to close the stream. Now let's start seeing the magic. Here inside of our build method, we can use a scaffold as always, a navbar, title, I don't know why to look it up. Okay, BloC. I can leave it like that. I don't want to do anything fancy, that's not the goal. And for our body here, we can use the center first to make sure everything will be centered. And inside of our center, we are going to use a stream builder. And a stream builder is this method that allows us to change the widget according to a particular stream. So for the stream builder, we first need to provide our stream, and we know that our stream is from the stream controller stream. We want to listen to this particular stream, and then the initial value or the initial data is going to be equal to counter, which is 0 at the beginning. And what are we doing here? Every time the value of the stream changes, the stream builder will change its value automatically, and we won't have to rebuild this whole stateful widget or change the widget tree. And in here, inside of the builder, of course, we need to provide our builder context, and then we need to provide our synchronous snapshot here. Okay, I think I misspelled this. Okay, let me check how do I spell it? This is what I need. Sorry for that. So we have our asynchronous snapshot now is correctly spelled, and in here we'll have to return something, and what are we going to return is text, and this text is I got hit, and in here we'll write snap, which is the snapshot data. And ladies and gentlemen, this is all we have to do. Times. Okay, and then for us to close this, we can just create a floating action button. We'll provide our child, and for the onPressed method, what are we going to do is simply right here stream controller, and we want to add into our stream sync add counter. And that's all we have to do here. And what are we doing? As I showed you before, we use sync to insert data inside of our stream, so we are adding we are an incrementation of the counter. Okay, let's try to run this and see what we have. If I go back to this, okay, that this is small here. I got hit 0 times. I don't know if you guys can see this, but if you see, and this may seem like nothing much is happening, but this is the basic foundation for the BloC pattern. We are using a stream, and here instead of rebuilding this widget, only the stream builder will update its value when the value of the counter changes, and this will be a very huge advantage for us in the near future. Okay guys, so if you understood the basic of streams and this very basic app we built using our stream builder, for the next video when we actually implement the BloC structure which is based on streams, it's going to be easy peasy for you guys to understand. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to comment, leave your suggestions, and all. See you guys on the next one.